Hi, everybody. Welcome to What's Your Story? And how's that story working for you? No, this is What's Your Story? And that your body may not. What the heck is the name of this thing? What's your story? And what? Oh, no, what's your body telling you that you may not even be hearing? What is your body telling you that you may not even be hearing? So, this is a tool that I have used for, gosh, probably 20 years, and it's probably my most powerful tool that I have ever used in all of my tools combined. So I don't know if you guys know that because I don't normally say that. But this is one I've used that I'm going to give you the what's your story today. And then I'm going to invite you into the process, if you so choose to accept it, of owning that story, transforming that story, and getting a tool that basically helps you figure out how to create anything you say you want to create. Because sometimes we say we want something, but then we don't really ever get it. How many of you have said, I want to lose weight, or I want to give me another story that you might have had? I want to
Be stronger.
be stronger, or give me another story. I want to be connected to
Look
my
better.
kid,
Yes.
Uh,
or I want to be in love with my spouse, or I want to make a ton of money, or I want to give me some other want tos that don't happen for you. I want to,
Enjoy life more.
yeah, I want to enjoy life. Okay.
I used to say, I want a new car.
Yeah, I want to
I
have,
started manifesting.
okay. Or Kimberly, for you, I want to get my business off the ground. I want to shine. I want to live into my wildest dreams. Whatever your quote want to is, yet it just keeps not happening. This is a tool that actually help communicate better. Yes, yes, yes. This is a tool that helps you see what might be absolutely perfect about it not working. And or in this case, for the one that we're talking about right now, is what's your body telling you? I'm going to tell you guys a story about what happened for me over 20 years ago. I was in a landmark course. I was going to say Tony Robbins. I was in one of those too. I've been into hundreds and hundreds of workshops, and I'm a lifelong learner, and I'm constantly working to find the keys to the universe. And whatever I find, I love to pass on. I'm a teacher and an educator, and I was a family psychologist from 2001. Now I'm training people how to do these tools, these Dr. Beth tools. And I was also in business for over 20 years as a business facilitator, trainer, keynote speaker, consultant. I have also written a book. I'm an author. Embracing Defiance, helping your child express their unique voice while keeping your sanity. So I'm also a Mom's Choice Award winning author, and I have 18 songs that I've written and recorded. Some of you may not know that. The name of the game is compassion. Just give you a little taste of it. And this tool that I'm going to talk to you guys about today is one of those processes that gets back to your unconscious. It gets to the root of some of the stuff that tells you, um, what is it? What is it that I am keep saying I want this, yet I keep going down the wrong path? What keeps pulling me back on this path? And has anybody ever experienced that? I say I want one thing and then I go in a different direction. So this tool, I'm a hard nut to crack. I'm a super hard nut to crack. And when I was at this landmark course, at the end of the night, after they had everybody share their stories, which I'm going to invite you guys to write some of the stories about your body. At the end of the night, when I shared my story, everybody in the whole room was just laughing hysterically. Ah, ha, ha, ha. My stories are so funny. It's kind of like I was laughing this morning when I was nervous before this webinar. I was laughing hysterically at myself that this is crazy. Like I'm doing a course on owning your story, and my story is so thick right now that is like, ah. And so obviously I need to do own your story on this one. But since I haven't done that yet, I'm going to go back to this story, which I have done the own your story on. And that is, what is the story and how is it serving you? So you look at the story and how it's serving you. And then you look at the story and what is it costing you? So sometimes that's all you need. So let me say this to you again. This is like the golden nuggets for probably 80% of your stories. So the golden nugget for 80% of your stories is, one, every single thing in life is a story. Everything, it's a story. Okay. I'm giving you the Cliff Note version right at the top of the hour. So everything in life is a story. What keeps us there is the fact that it's serving us in some way. One of the quickest ways to stop it is to look at what is it costing us. And sometimes the cost outweighs the service and you're done. But if you're like me, a hard nut to crack, sometimes just knowing it's a story and knowing that we want it is not enough. And so this tool that I developed is a 21-step process that takes it all the way to the deep, deep, deep roots of your unconscious. So I was gonna ask you guys, how many of you absolutely love your body exactly as it is right now? Like on a scale from 1 to 10, 1, I hate my body, and 10, I absolutely adore my body. So just real quick, give yourself a number and put it in the chat. Put your hand up in the air. I got some 5s. Or give me, we got another 5, 5, 5, 5, 7. Okay. So for my number, guess what my number is? 10. It's a 10. Now I'm not hallucinating. I know I'm not what's her name?
J-Lo.
J-Lo. I know I'm not J-Lo. I mean, I'm pretty damn close to J-Lo, but I know I'm not hallucinating. I know the reality of what I see, and I'm a 10. I love, love, love my body. And when I go by a mirror, I'm like, damn, you're hot. Woo, I like what I see. Oh my gosh, I love you. How many of you do that on a daily basis, on an hourly basis, every time you look in the mirror? What? This is not normal?
I do it daily, but not hourly, but daily, yes.
Okay, so my double dog dare for each of you is to actually see the beauty of yourself. Like, see the beauty of yourself. I love my hair. I love my eyes. I love my mouth. I love my cute nose. I love my little rosy cheeks. I love this chin. Like, looking at what you look for, what you love versus, oh, there's some spot. I mean, you know, and our eyes are taught to look for what we want to find. So if you look for purple everywhere, you're going to find purple. If you look for blue everywhere, you're going to find blue. If you look for red, you're going to find red. If you look for, so whatever you look for, whatever your question is, that's where you put this massive computer brain of yours on point. So one of the most powerful ways to get you where you want to go is ask the right question. So questions are the mastery of direction. Whatever I put my question on, that's what I'm going to find. And for those of you that have worked with me and read my book, if you tell, I must. Anybody? Rebel. If you tell, I must rebel. So anytime you put something into, somebody just sent me a text and it took my brain right off the chart. Anytime you put a tell in a space, it creates the brain to throw up this unconscious, just like anytime you say, I'm going on a diet, and you tell yourself, I'm going on a diet, unconsciously, your brain rebels. Anytime you tell yourself anything, unconsciously, your brain rebels. So if I said, what do I love about myself? My brain goes on a mission. If I say, what's wrong with me? Why am I still stuck? Why do I keep shooting myself in the foot? Why? This question, the question why, is the most powerful negative question. It is the most powerful negative question. It's like a double dog dare line in the sand for somebody to rebel. Why did you do that? Well, why are you asking? Or why haven't you done it before? Well, why are you on my porch? So anytime you use the word why, you can almost 100% get the chance that somebody's going to rebel against your why. So this whole process and everything that I teach is how to do the internal world so that we stop doing what we don't want to do in the external world, in relationships, in our businesses, and in our bodies. So the tools that I am going to teach that are going to be in this 6-month course that I'm going to roll out as soon as we have enough people to roll it out. So I'm going to give you guys a hidden agenda. I know. Robin's giving me the glare eye. So I have several people that want to play already. And when I get 20 people that say, I'm in, I'm committed, I'm playing, then I will launch this puppy. The gift I'm going to give you guys, because you're here before anybody else knows about it, is even until I launch the thing, I'm going to give you free time in all the other power hours and everything else we're doing until it gets launched. So you're going to get 2 for the price of 1 plus $1 until the game begins. And when the game begins, I am going to take you guys through this 21-step process of unraveling all of your stories about your body, about your health, about your wealth, about your relationships. But this round is going to be focused on health and well-being of your body and your inner psyche, and how to take your power back, no matter what your body looks like, no matter what your body feels like. How do you still have the joy and the fun exactly where you are. Because when you love yourself and you adore who you are, do you want to feed yourself crap or do you want to feed yourself gold? I just took a handful of supplements. No telling how much those supplements cost. I should add that up. My dad is always saying, why are you spending so much money on supplements? Because to me, it's like, I want all the love I can give myself. And I drank a Juice Plus shake this morning that is the highest quality shake that I know that's out there. And I drink my Juice Plus shake and I give myself all, and today I'm going to go see Terry and have acupuncture. And then later this afternoon, I'm having chiropractic care with Dr. Evan. And so I do, and then Kimberly, I put her lotions and potions and oils and everything. So I do everything I can to take the most decadent self-care of myself because I love myself. I just drank a glass of spinach and kale, and it's a green drink, and you do it, you make it up and then you put it in the freezer. So so I don't do these things like, I got to do this. I'm not going to let myself have that. I'm not going to, it's not that. It's like, oh, I'm so taking such good care of me. So it's a different goal. The goal is not, how do I look like J-Lo? The goal is, how do I become the greatest, grandest, healthiest, most luscious, lovable, sexy, hot dancing machine that I can be? And the way you do that is by what you tell yourself. So if you tell yourself you suck, then you might as well go eat a cake, because that's going to be more soothing to I suck than any green drink. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So I don't know if you've seen the movie. Is it called Pretty Woman? What's the not Pretty Woman? I Feel Pretty. I think it's the
I don't
movie
think so.
where in that movie she is told,
I love that movie.
isn't that awesome? So in the movie, she's a little bit heavy and she's frumpy and she hates herself and everything goes wrong and everybody ignores her and nothing works in her life. And she
Oh, yeah. Great.
falls and she slips, she bumps her head and she has this hallucination that now she's drop dead gorgeous. And she starts dressing drop dead gorgeous. She starts walking drop dead gorgeous. She has an attitude of drop dead gorgeous. And guess what happens in the world? She starts getting treated like she's drop dead gorgeous. And one of my favorites is she joins the wet t-shirt contest. Same body, same woman, next day. And she's like, and she wins the wet t-shirt contest. I don't know if she wins or not, but the crowd roars. Like, what if you got to love you now? Not
Amy Schumer. She's hilarious.
Yes, not in 6 months, not once you finally get to be the perfect person that you're supposed to be. Who said we're supposed to be a size 2? Who made that rule? Don't answer that question. Don't answer that question, Kimberly. Go ahead.
So I have a question. What if you've built the person that you want to be, and now you absolutely love her because she's exactly who and what you wanted to be, because I became exactly who I was on the inside.
Yeah.
And I wasn't
Kimberly.
I wasn't clouded by trauma and PTSD and all these triggers and all this stuff. I still have triggers, but they not nearly as much as what it was before. So I absolutely love the body, the mind, the brain, all of it. I'm in love with myself. And I don't care if you don't like me, because I like me.
Yes.
Yes.
And this is same for if you've gone through strokes, or if you've gone through breast cancer, or if you've gone through back surgery, or if you've gone through whatever, like, how do you become the most absolutely compassionate, loving? Like, imagine you had a little baby 3-year-old. Let me talk to you about my inner kids. So, this is one of the mainstays of my work. It's the Inner Family Zoo. And just imagine a young external 3-year-old kid that just went through whatever you may have gone through, back surgery, stroke, um, heavy, pick anything, pick anything that is on you and put that thing on your, an external, literally 2 or 3-year-old child. How would you want to treat that child that just slipped and broke their ankle? How would you want to trip that child? How would you want to treat that child that maybe has a hormone deficiency and can't lose the weight in this moment, and hasn't been able to lose the weight in the moment, and hasn't had the right food and exercise and parental love to be able to lose the weight that that child needed to lose in this moment? How would you want to treat that 3-year-old? Would you tell them, would you shame them? Would you blame them? Would you tell them they're just a piece of crap? Or would you pick that little precious baby 3-year-old up and say, you are adorable exactly as you are? Would you hold them when they're crying because their back hurts? Would you hold them because fill in the blank of whatever they may have gone through? And what about, this is my second character. This is the super duper 7-year-old. And this is the emotional state that comes on to take care of the 3-year-old internally. This is the emotional state. And this is the one that starts organizing. Okay, let's get us on a diet. Let's line up all of our pills and potions and motions and pills. Let's make sure that we have done this, and let's get it all organized. And let's say we're going to jump to the moon in 5 days or less. Let's say we're going to do this. Let's say we're going to do, and it's like, this overwhelming impossibility. And this little precious super 7-year-old's trying to fix us. Just wink, wink, we're not broke. Wink, wink, there is nothing wrong. It's the story that we're telling ourselves, that we're broken, that we're doing it wrong, that there's something that we should do differently. And so then one of my favorite characters is the inner teen. She strolls in and she's like to the super 7-year-old, take a chill pill, baby. Chillax. You got to take it down a notch. And that's where all the addictions come into play. All the addictions to stuff out emotion of the little baby 3-year-old, the workaholic, perfectionistic, overachieving little super 7-year-old, and the inner teen comes in and says, all right, we got to take this down a notch. Now, if you get these 3 emotional states, which are your unconscious, by the way, these are the stories behind the stories. And if you go talk to these little parts of yourself from your divine wise self, you actually get to connect with your unconscious. And if you ask these different parts, what's perfect and divine, especially your teenager, what is perfect and divine, P and D, baby, what is perfect and divine about having a 30 extra pounds on your body? What's perfect about that? And when I did this over 20 years ago, I came up with 30 reasons. I'll give you some of them that are, and they're usually politically incorrect. They're not super 7-year-old answers. They're usually not something you want everybody to know you're thinking, but it's safer to carry the weight than let people know what you're thinking. So for example, one of mine was to the establishment that said women are supposed to be size 2. Another one of my reasons to have the extra weight was to go, to my mom, who was a prom queen, size 2, gorgeous, trying to turn me into a girly girl. And I wanted to be me. I want to be me. I don't want to be the prom queen. Maybe I did really want to be the prom queen, but I never thought I actually could be the prom queen because I couldn't measure up to my shero mom. And so now what I'm actually getting to own is I can be that beauty. I can be that beauty. I can embrace my beauty. And in the past, it would have been blasphemous for me to even think. I never thought I could make it to the girl club. You know, the girl club, the cheerleader girl club. Some of you are in the girl club, so you don't even know there is a girl club. And if you don't know what the girl club is, that's because you're in it. And congratulations for being in the girl club. And even when you're in the girl club, you still don't think you're good enough. I've had people that have come into my private practice office, size 2, drop dead gorgeous, models getting paid for their looks, and still feel like they're not good enough. Still feel like they're not good enough. Still feel like they have not arrived. So, what did you say? Do I get bonus points for getting kicked out of the girls club? Is that what you said, Elizabeth? Let me find you. Do I get bonus? Yeah, getting kicked out. Yes, you get bonus points for getting in it. You get bonus points for getting out of it. You get bonus points for being wherever you are within the girls in the girls club. Because the game is, do I get to love me exactly as I am? That's the game of this entire process. Do I get to love me with my trauma? Do I get to love me with my clumsiness? Do I get to love me with my fill in the blank of whatever the humanity is that you are? And if you want the Cliff Note version, just say it's a story, drop it, and create a new story, and you're done. You're done. Boom. Next. If you're still feeling like I can't find a way to unplug this story, and I can't find a way to unplug this story about my body or my parents or my parenting or my child or my money or whatever the story is that you can't unplug, going through this 6-month process is not for the faint of heart. It's going to be super fun, and it's going to unravel you to be able to see the unconscious and how it's been serving you. So you're actually going to find even more ways to fall madly in love with yourself. When I realized the 30 reasons that I had the weight on me, I just cried. I held myself. I was like, oh my God, you've been saving me. This weight has been saving me. It's been taking care of me until I was ready to look at it a new way. It was the most loving, kind, beautiful thing that I could possibly give to myself, was to have that weight on me. So whatever is the story in your life that you want to unravel, whatever the story is that you want to fall madly in love with yourself on, one of the ways we get there is through my proprietary process called the 10 Keys to Compassion. The 10 Keys to Compassion. And for years and years and years, I've been teaching the 10 keys. And the way I do it right now is I have a family power hour on Tuesdays. I have a women's power hour on Wednesdays. I have a new Coach the Pros power hour on Tuesday mornings. And those are for people that are wanting to learn these processes and teach them to others, or utilize them in their therapy, or utilize them with their clients, or for healthcare professionals, have dentists that use this with their clients in the dental chair and are now making way more money because they're now able to deal with the people's emotional interstates instead of just deal with those defiant clients and send them to somebody else. So they're actually making more money by learning these tools. This also works with, instead of launching your kids, it gives you a chance to love them in their little badass mamma jamma, mean mofo self. And get that I'm not a bad person because my kids are stepping into their greatness. That one takes a minute. So we have an entire family power hour for that one. And I also have a teen young adult power hour. And then the one I'm getting ready to launch, is going to be a combo course that has the Own Your Story I was just telling you guys about. And every other week, I'm going to do a beginner's overview of the 10 keys to compassion. Because a lot of times when people step into the power hours, they're with people that have been doing this and they're in my village for a long time. And sometimes it's like, what is this gobbledygook these people are talking about? And some of the stuff I talk about is like uncommon common sense. And if you're a perfectionistic, good girl, good boy, super 7-year-old, sometime when you come into that group, you feel like, I should know this already. And you shouldn't know this already. No one knows this already. This is like a whole new way of blowing up the establishment of how we used to think things are supposed to be: black, white, right, wrong, I'm good, you're bad. It's how the world is getting split apart right now. So the 10 keys to compassion is falling in love with who I am, how I am, where I am, what I am, and from that space, living myself into the greatest, grandest version of myself. And I don't know if you guys have seen my Double Dog Dare You challenge, but my Double Dog Dare challenge, and I'm going to post that here in the chat, is and Tag, you guys are all it right now. I just got you. Tag, you're it. I play this with my little 7-year-old nephew. Anytime we talk on the phone, we say, Tag, you're it. And whenever we see each other in a restaurant or, family meetings or whenever, it's like, first thing, it's like, Tag, you're it. So Tag, you're it on the Double Dog Dare challenge. And the challenge is, I challenge you to step into one of your unrealized dreams. I challenge you to shine. And one of the ways we do this in all of my power hours is I invite people to brag. So again, if you focus on the negative, you get the negative. If you catch people doing things wrong, they'll show you how wrong they are. Oh, you think I'm bad? Oh, you think I'm a liar? Oh, I'll show you lying. It triggers that inner teenage energy to show you, and you get the boomerang back in your face of what you just said that triggered the bejeebies out of them. And I'm going to say that they allowed you to trigger the bejeebies out of them. They gave you their power. And when we get triggered, we're giving other people our power. So if you want your power back, take the Double Dog Dare challenge. It's free, complimentary. And the cost is, you're going to probably want to pass it on, and it may take some energy to pass it on and light up the world. That's the cost. Because
Can you tell us what the challenge is again?
So the challenge, so I'm gonna put the post on there. Click on it. It's all free. You can read through it. And but the challenge is, I'm double dog daring you to shine. And there's a process that you go through. You videotape your challenge. I already have 2 people that have taken the challenge this last week. And in the challenge, we challenge other people to shine. So I challenge the teens and the young adults to challenge their parents to shine. I challenge spouses to challenge each other to shine. How do we keep lifting each other up instead of, you haven't done it yet? You always said you wanted to be on TV. Why haven't you done it yet? You always said you wanted to blah, blah, blah. Why haven't you done it yet? Why? Trigger, trigger, trigger word. So instead, how do we challenge someone with no attachment? So when I tag, you guys can play or choose not to play. You're not going to hurt my feelings. I'm just inviting you. I'm not demanding. I'm double dog daring you, which is what I call authentic manipulation. It's an authentic manipulation because I know it engages your inner teen in a game. It's one of the things that when we dare people, it's an unconscious hook that make people want to play. So that's the Double Dog Dare Challenge, and I'll put it in the link here in just a second. And so the 10 keys to compassion, C is for compassion. O is for own your story. So the C is falling in love with what is. O is owning your story. So this entire own your story process is all about key 2, own your story. Key 3 is mirror, mirror. If you spot it, you got it. So if there's somebody in your life, like I have every one of you, I love all of your mirrors, every single solitary one of you that are on this call right now. I take your mirror to the bank. I'm like, if you're my mirror, I have arrived. I have arrived. And that's how I feel about who I see right this minute on the screen. And there was a time I was in feeling challenged financially, and one of my friends, multi-millionaire, she was in my face, and instead of me feeling jealous or compare and despair, instead I felt like, oh, she's my mirror. You know, the 5 closest people that you're close to, those are the ones that you're almost there. So that, and it's just a new way to embrace what I'm looking at. So instead of seeing her as my adversary or seeing her as a difficult look at myself, gosh, look how far I've come, look how far she's come. Instead, it's like, oh, mirror, mirror. I spot it, I got it. That's my look. So so mirror, mirror a lot of times gets talked about in the negative. I love to put it in the positive as well, so that if there is somebody that's triggering the bejeebies out of you, they're whiny, they're a crybaby, they're a needy, they're liars, they're cheaters, like whatever I'm seeing over there. Instead of getting over on their porch, getting in their inventory, I take that vision, I take that projection, and I'm like, okay, where am I? Where's my little 3-year-old crying and I'm not listening? Where's my little 3-year-old wanting to whine? That's why I can't stand their whining, because there's some part of me that's not feeling seen, heard, gotten. There's some part of me that wants to have some attention and get filled up. So that's one of the ways to use mirror, mirror. And then P is for playful, messy, playful, messy. So when you do C, O, and M of compassion, it's going to get a little messy. I'm just telling you. All this stuff starts bubbling up. And you're like, oh my God, what's my story? Oh my gosh, what am I not in love with? Oh my gosh, what are my mirrors? And so the 4th key is get playful with it. Don't be so significant. Don't be so serious. And then key 5 is affect. Key 5 is affect. And affect is feel your feelings, name them out so you don't act out. So affect is what am I seeing in my feelings? Where am I noticing it in my body? And the whole key 5 is all about emotional awareness and emotional intelligence. And then key 6, after you've done all this, you're going to need a little self-care. So key 6 is decadent self-care, and not decadent self-care on the outside, getting your hair done, your nails done, everything. Decadent self-care is also, how do I love up the inside? How do I love and decadently care for my little inner 3-year-old? How do I love and decadently care for my super 7-year-old and brag on how she's managed my life and done so much for my family and made such a huge difference? Because if I feel good, I want to do more. If I feel bad, I want to do less. You guys get that? If you've done everything you can And no matter what you've done, you never do enough. Who wants to quit? Like, what's the point? I've done it and I've done it and I've done it and I've done it, and I never get to win with myself. So key 6 is self-care, decadent, loving self-care. And then key 7 is self-trust. So this whole 10 keys can sometimes feel a little cultish, and it can sometimes feel a little like this is a whole new language, and it can sometimes feel a little like, I've stepped into another world. And so what I like to do is bring you back to you. You are your divine wise self. You know better than anyone what's adorable about you. And if you're waiting for your spouse to notice you, if you're waiting for your kids to notice you, if you're waiting for your employees to notice you, good luck on that, you hear? Because they can't even find themselves yet. Like everybody's little baby birds going, will you be my mother? Will you be my mother? Will you love me like I am? We're all doing the same thing. So tag, we are our own best mother, friend, cheerleader, support system, therapist, all that. So key 7 is all about self-trust. Key 8, how do we keep this thing going? But how do we keep it going? Organize your village. Come to the power hours. Get a support team. Find people around you that lift you up, don't tear you down. Organize your external village that are living you into what you want to live into. And organize your inner village. So bring your wise self in that takes care of your inner 3-year-old and makes her feel safe, exactly as she is. Bring in your wise self and tell your super 7-year-old the rules where you actually get to win with your life. Like, who made these rules? We have rules that have been passed down from millennial generations in the past, parents, teachers. Like, who said? Do you think they're enlightened and loving life and have arrived? Yeah, no, not usually. So where do I tap into my own wise self where I am the boss of me? I'm the boss of me. I say what wins. I say what's right. I say where I'm going. I say when I'm hot and sexy. So that's key 8. COMPASSI. Oh, I missed I. Intrinsic into extrinsic. Internal into external. So the eye of compassion is going within. I feel these feelings. I have this story. I see my mirrors. I have these feelings. So key 7 is a little bit like chicken soup. It gets all, it stirs everything up that we've done in all of the keys. So some of you that have come in right towards the key 6, key 7, key 8, or key 6 and key 7, it's like you just jumped right in the kitchen soup. You jumped right in the middle of the keys. And one of the reasons that I want to start the 6-month process is for people like you that are so brave that jump into a year-long course and you're in the power hours and you're listening to the intrinsic versus extrinsic and internal and external, and everybody's talking about stories and mirrors and this and that. And you're like, what are they talking about? That's why I want to do the beginners own your story. I mean, the beginners 10 keys to compassion, where everybody can be back on the same level playing field. And by the way, in everything that I sell, I do have a 2.5-hour audio. And in that 2.5-hour audio, someone interviews me on the 10 keys, and all my songs connect to one of the keys, and all the little kids are within each of the keys. And there's tons of material on this. And if you want to do any deep dive on what are the 10 keys and take a particular key, I can point you where to go find that key and where to go find more information about that key. So, and then, so we have COMPASSI, organize your village. And then key 10 is no. No. I can't say yes. I can't fully embrace. I can't jump in with a hell yes unless I can say no to your face. So your kids can't tell you the truth unless you can handle the truth. Your kids can't tell you, yes, I love you, Mom, unless they can say, I hate you, Mom. How many of us feel hate and love? It's okay. It's okay. They can hate us. It's okay. They can say some of these words and it doesn't make it the truth. It's just their young emotional self that feels that feeling in the moment. And as I said with one little 2-year-old, I wonder what feeling's going to be next. And she said, happy. It's going to be happy. And we get to choose what that next feeling is going to be. We get to choose by the thoughts that we think. We get to create the feeling. If I say, oh, I suck, I get to feel like I suck. I get to feel negative feelings. If I say, here's my brag, I'm all that in a bag of chips, I get to feel that feeling. And I always say I can't necessarily control my first thought, but I can usually control my second thought. So sometimes, negative thoughts just plop up in our heads, word Tourette's. However, when that word Tourette's comes up, we can have some questions that transform that thought. And that's what Own Your Story tool is all about. It gives you the questions to stop the Tourette's. It gives you the questions to unplug these deep, dark stories, beliefs that we have evidence galore. We have proof that it's true. We're fat. We have proof that it's true. Our body hurts. We have proof it's true that fill in the blank, whatever it is, we have proof. So what the Own Your Story tool does, it gives you new proof to counterbalance the old proof so that you get to have a choice in what you think next. And it's a step-by-step process that unplugs the unconscious and gives you new tools and gives you new techniques. So the 10th one is know your boundaries. KNOW, NO large, know your boundaries. And boundaries are not, I got to get on your porch and control you and you don't get to cuss. Boundaries are not, I get to get on your porch and control you and say, you don't get to trigger me. Boundaries are not anything that's on somebody else's porch. That is not a boundary. That is a controlling, let's go Karen. That's a controlling Karen. I don't even know if I like that example, but it's controlling. Don't use that. Okay. So anyway, that is the controlling way of trying to get somebody to do what you want, when you want, how you want it, so that you have your own inner good feeling. How's that working for you? How's it working for you? Being on somebody's porch, trying to change them, does it work? No, doesn't work, doesn't work, doesn't work. So if you always do what you've always done, you always get what you always got. So this tool and this journey and this process, it truly is a journey. I'm pretty masterful in a very short period of time, sometimes 5 minutes or less, getting somebody out of the ditch. Like I can pretty quickly take someone from crisis to hope in usually about 5 minutes or less, just with my questioning. The challenge is I can't keep you there because your dang stories take you back into the ditch. Your beliefs take you right back on that 8-lane highway that gets everybody looking for evidence of their broken stories, which gets you more and more and more of what you don't want. So can I share with you guys what I'm offering? Permission to share. This is the part that I get a little nervous on, and the part that I am so passionate about, and the part that I'm trying my very, very hardest to have zero attachment to, like zero attachment, and trusting that you have your own wise self and you have your own spiritual knowingness that this will either be for you or it won't be for you. And I gotta tell you, I am passionate about it. I'm super, super passionate about it. And thank you, Valerie. And what I have done is I've thrown the whole kitchen soup. So I've been doing this for 20 something years, just Dr. Beth's Compassionate Parenting. By the way, I'm Dr. Beth Halbert, America's teenologist. Might should have said that up front. Anyway, and drbeth.com. So in this offer that I'm giving you guys, I am going to include everything that I do, not the Coach the Pros, but everything else: the Family Power Hour, the Women's Power Hour, the Teen Young Adult Power Hour, the Own Your Story Overview for beginners. I mean, the 10 Keys to Compassion overview for beginners, and this brand new Own Your Story program that I'm rolling out. Normally, each one of those things is $15.97 by itself, standalone, for 6 months. By itself. The Parenting 911 by itself, just focusing on you as a parent, $15.97. The Women's Success-Driven Power Hour, taking women in business and taking them to their dreams, $15.97 by itself. The 10 Keys to Compassion, $15.97 by itself. Do-it-yourself version. Done it for years and years and years. The Own Your Story I sold by itself, way more than $15.97. It was $4.97 every month. So what I'm doing this time is just for a short period of time until I fill this up. We're going to have for $15.97, 6 months of taking you entirely through the process. For 6 months, you get the every other week. You'll get the Own Your Story 1 week. You'll get to do a little bit of evening opportunity and check yourself on some of the resources and take yourself as deep as you want, or don't, because I'll invite you to do that too. Play or don't, because if you just sit in the class and just go through the process, you're not going to be able to help it, but you're going to learn stuff. So, and for bonus points, I'm also going to have a session with me included. And that's normally $550 by itself. $550 for a one-on-one session with me. So I'm passionate about this. I'd love for you guys to share with other people, because the more people that we have playing, the more you're going to be able to see all your stories and all the questions, the faster we'll get through the questions. So instead of you having to do all the work, everybody will do a teeny bit of the work, and we all get to own all of it, and we all get to transform all of it, and we all get to be inspired by all of it. That's why if I had a choice to take you through this process by yourself or take you through this process with 50 people, I would buy all, just as the value, it would be to take you through this process with everybody else. So that's the offer. That's the game. I am so grateful that you guys chose to come and play. I would love if you would share this with other people. If you are ready to sign up, a quick, fast bonus sign up is if you do it now, you get the all the Own Your Story power hours. I mean, blah, blah, blah. You get all the power hours until we start the actual 6-month progress. So it may take me a month, may take me 2 months, whatever it takes, you get that at no charge. And that's normally $333 a month just for each one of those. And I'm putting them all together. So does anybody have any questions? Questions? All right, I'm going to put in the chat this. All right, here's copy link. Here we go. All right. So there is the limited bundle. Bam, 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 bam. And go ahead, Barb.
So are you saying that the offer for a 6 months course that you've just explained is $15.97?
The whole thing.
The whole thing. And the whole thing, because I'm going to send this to a friend of mine and I want to make sure she understands. So, because I don't understand. The whole thing is the 6 months every other week or every week?
So the 6 months is every week. 1 week is the 10 keys to compassion for beginners. Key 1. The next week will be step 1 of the Own Your Story tool.
Okay.
Next
Got
week,
it.
key 2. Next week, step 2 of the Own Your Story tool. So it'll go like that every other week.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, yes, yes. And I am also going to double dog dare you guys to do my my double dog dare challenge. And I will send a link on that. And if you're willing to do that with me, I would love to actually be the one who asks you the questions. So you can either go through the whole process and record it and do it all by yourself, or you can have me walk you through it and I'll videotape it with you. And I'd love if anybody's willing to be the one that gets to interview you and walk you through the course. And then the goal, the inspiration, the challenge is to keep it going and for you to do this with others and you be the one that interviews others. So any other questions? What is your takeaway from this? Anybody want to share? Tona, anything you want to share?
No, I'm just, I'm getting confused about all of this. I'll have to go back and look at it.
Okay, and I'm going to send the recording.
Okay.
And you have a link right there in the chat that'll spell everything out. It spells the whole thing out. And Tona, since you've already signed up, you're going to be one of the ones that you're getting this for free. So you don't have to pay a thing. This is just what's coming down the pike that you get.
Okay.
Okay. So anybody else have a takeaway? Anything you want to share? Robin?
No.
Karen? Go ahead, Robin. Go ahead.
No.
Okay. Karen, anything, takeaway, share, anything? Elizabeth? All right, you guys. Mwah. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being in my village. And please help me shine out in the world as bright as I can and bring in people so that they have these tools. Love you guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Hey, Beth.